Welcome to Pokemon Let's Play Retrospective. Just 2 more times we have to battle these people, and then we are done with rematches. Sadly, the stat trainers, so your companions for a while, you can only battle one of them per day, because you cannot, from what I gathered, you cannot get Bug and Rally at the same time. And since we need to battle both of them, I thought, okay, the one who comes first will be finished first, I guess. I leave the last Pokemon for, because Brock has that last Pokemon in his team. We will keep it a secret for a while, but those who already noticed which Pokemon we didn't talk about will can probably guess who it is. Generally speaking, there seems to be a pattern in what moves and what Pokemon really excel this generation. Fast leads, or leads that can with priority and set up stealth rocks. Suicide leads as well. Although hazard and keeping your hazards on the field. Removing hazards are really difficult. Whirlwind and Raw are really popular in this hazard focused metagame. Weather setting. I think this generation pretty much sets the trend of set weather and go away with a boom for sweep. And that was at least judging from the past analyses, because Smogon's analyses are not complete yet, because they are revamping a few things, so there's a lot of outdated analyses. Move variety is a lot more important, because the lack of team preview, you could get away with using something that's generally outclassed. Like, why use a physical Ludicolo when you can just use a physical water type? Quagsire does what it does much better. And why use the Dragon Dance Charizard? But I guess to that it's fine, because 84 physical attack is still pretty good by Generation 4 standards. It's all about hitting a certain benchmark. Elements, I don't want to use Mesprit, but I guess we have to. Generation 4, it lasted the longest of all generations, from what I remember. I'm not sure if it has the most amount of games. It's like a console generation long. Like, the first games came out pretty early of the DS's life, and the last games came out close to the end. The Generation 5 came also out. It's pretty hard to pinpoint. The DS really stood alive for quite a long time. It's really surprising. Ghost types, I think we can lead with Lava Frog, because he has Crunch. I don't know if we battle Fantina, but now we can battle her. After that we are gonna explore Stark Mountain again a little bit. There's Banette, but it's awful. Focus Sash is really important for your lead Pokemon. It to survive to set up Trick Room and die. be it to set up Stealth Rock and die, be it to break something and do heavy damage. It's interesting what Gem 4 has to offer. Anti-leads are a thing, leads that beat other leads. A champ is surprisingly popular. Focus Blast. I think we can survive this. Focus Sash Machamp is not the first thing I think about, but I guess it's a thing. Wow, I would be surprised if it's killed us, but... Hasty is that minus special defense? I'm not so sure anymore. Mismagius, we cannot outspeed Mismagius. But what can this really... Thunderbolt, okay. We are pretty low in HP, I think even Shadow Ball could have taken us down. I'm willing to sacrifice Lava Frog here. It gives us special defense IVs, I guess, but... yeah, why not? Switch to Richard. Surf here. I don't remember much in-game wise. Jeffo was not the most popular generation in my era. We were kinda invested in the lore, new Pokemon, new types, always brings a certain hype, but it's only really early on, and after the hype dies out, the rest of the game is not really going to keep you invested. It was the era where emulation was really popular, so I played most of the Pokemon games I wanted to play per emulation. And Generation 5 was the first where I got back into cartridge. My cousin had some of the games, I kinda also played that way, and I still have some of his borrowed games, since he doesn't play and I want to try breed certain... I like breeding Pokemon for some reason, and the things that really interest me is to make some amazing movesets or strong viable sets and then copy them to Battle Revolution to complete that game basically, or make that game complete, not completed in a traditional sense. I remember this L5 Cup, maybe I should make some adjustments just for that format, but it's fine. Stuff one more, goes for Protect. Also Hard Gold and Soul Survivors really helped out, but I'm not into that game as many others are. Maybe we can do a Let's Play retrospective on that, but before I do that I rather play the game that people made just to show how hyped they were for that generation of games. Candice, kind of battled her yesterday. One of the best looking gym leaders. Was the first time we had an ice type gym leader? No, we had Price. I was wondering why I saved gym leaders were that late and they didn't have anything that impressive to show. I want speed like Mammothorn. This may be just a flamethrower sweep. After we get Dragon and Dragon Claw, I think I will teach it to Dialga, because Dialga has better attack right now. I assume, considering it doesn't have a minus attack nature like Palkia. Gonna check that after the match. And let's just finish spamming Flamethrower here. I think in the front for the next bit for Volkner we just slap Dialga to the front and spam Earth Power. There's a Bomber Snow. That also dies. Pokemon that I really like from this generation. I think Dialga is my favorite because it has this, I don't know, it's blue, it's a dragon, it has steel typing. It's reflectively, it's like two of the best typings really combined, at least at the time. Also in the movies it looked really impressive. To put them side by side, Palkia looks awful. Looks like a... It's kinda look dick shaped. Yeah, it's obviously gonna teach Dialga Dragon Claw. There's Jolteon. Go Timelord. Okay. Of the new evolutions, I think what Bibarel looks the best. What do we have? Magneton looks to me. You have Licky, which looks derpy like you would expect. I wish we got the beta version of Licky. From Generation 2 it looked impressive. Glaceon and Vaporeon Leafeon look fine. I'm not a Eevee fan, so I don't really am that impressed. Glaceon has a slick design. It's a nice Sharpie design from Leafeon, is unique. There are a lot of evolution. Eevee looks hideous. So many fat looking Pokemon. Magmortar, I think it looks a little bit better than Magma. I think I remember Magma so fondly because of the anime. It was really scary back then, but if you look at it now and how it is portrayed in the anime, it's not that impressive anymore. Besides Eevee, we just pro here. I think we can survive this. Because of light screen, this Earth Ball might not kill. It's fine. This thing gives out attack IVs, I think. I'm not too worried. If Dialga dies, we just switch into Palkia and then spam Earth Power with that thing. Go Richard. What new evolutions do we have? I think there was more. Tangrowth looks fine. Divine looks good. Like, it's not my favorite, but I think it looks impressive. One of the few designs that looks fine. It's more okay if something derpy becomes something. In my mind, it's better if something derpy becomes something terrifying than if something terrifying becomes something derpy. If that makes sense. Yeah. Were there any other evolution? Gliscor, I think, is fine. I'm not much of a Gliscor fan. It's a fine design. Rhyperior looks hideous. I really don't like Rhyperior. And Dusknoir is okay, I think. I think that's pretty much it. I don't remember any other evolutions. Abipom looks okay. Yanmega looks good. Looks fine. It's easy to remember, I guess, since you just have to think which Gen 2 Pokemon used to be awful. And then you immediately figure out, oh, Punchcrow. Punchcrow is pretty good. Design-wise. You have Mismagius. There are quite a lot of evolutions. I think, and I will be honest, I'm really surprised that Misdreavus got an evolution, because all the generations Misdreavus was a single stage Pokemon. It was really good. Gen 3 OU Misdreavus is actually viable. It's minimum UU. So you would not imagine it gets an evolution, and it's despite its massive buff, if it still can't reach OU status. So even with that evolution, power creep event did end up catching up. That's unfortunate. But it is what it is, you could say. Let's go and find Dragonclaw and in start mount. A baby Pokemon. We got quite a lot of baby Pokemon. I think if you look at Game Freak expanding, making Little Cup playable format, you could say, okay, it is justified that baby Chansey. Happiny, I think that regard, Happiny is fine. Munchsack might be my favorite. Okay, we have to just add Rockland in our team. Didn't we swap? And I really dislike keep having to backtrack, but it's a problem I set up for myself, I guess. Okay, let's take just to be sure both. I'm not gonna look into what they have. We probably won't encounter any trainers, so I'm just gonna swap these out. And here we go. Again. Go for rock climb here. And push this boulder. I just need to remember which parts we explored and which part we didn't. Repel. This was close. I think at some point I will stop using Repel. It depends where we go. Benches there already. Actually, I want to see what we find. There's something I want to encounter, so you can catch much hope. Okay. So, much lags, I think it's fine. In that regard again. Okay, you find these Pokemon, which are from another route. Does this count still as Dark Mountain, or is this somewhere else? I'm kinda distracted. Brown Zone, everyone's favorites. We don't want to encounter this actually. But yeah, this is why you don't want to have Torterra. This entire Pokemon's existence kind of ruins a lot of stuff. Okay, this is what we wanted to encounter. And now how do we wear this thing down? I think this will do. We go for Heatran. Can it survive a crunch? I hope it does. What's the damage? It doesn't. Okay, we have to do another encounter. Our high jump kick is too strong. Do we have anything weaker? It seems too light, but we still try our luck. And switching to Lava Frog and goes for Force Palm, which is super effective. And it paralyzed us. Great. What is it trying to? Yeah, like I said, Munchster looks fine, and because of the reason I explained that Game Freak might have wanted to make viable LP World Cup viable Pokemon. In that regard, it's fine to have more baby Pokemon. I think a baby Sideford would be fine. Would kinda put down some stress from the Pokemon Council of OU. Surprisingly strong for a fully evolved, for non-evolved Pokemon that can evolve. Let's name it. Beak. And we go... Oh, okay, I forgot to activate a repel. As the next Pokemon we want to catch is a Finneon and Weasel, but we will take care of this after this episode is concluded. So go here. Or climb down. I think we pretty much explored the cave. I cannot speak. We explored it completely, this area. Only the entry to the next areas that we have yet to explore. I love rock smashing. And here it is. Dragon Claw. And to get out you either use escape rope or you just push this boulder because we are not that far away from getting out of the cave. Yeah, let's catch up Weasel. Now this is a place where I IV train for HP, but there are some speed IV Pokemon you have to be careful. There's Shellos, which gives you 1 HP IV, like I said. The two likeliest Pokemon give you HP IVs and the least likely Pokemon give you speed IVs. One of them is Weasel. Weasel is still really common, so it is what it is. Let's just throw a ball. Oh, it's stuck. I'm not too worried. Just looking where you can find a Finneon to me. Just throw another ball. Nice ball. I should have just quick balled. I think that's fine. Actually here, what do we need to encounter this thing? Oh, good road should be enough. And call this Tails from Sonic. I used to think this is a water fox, but it's a weasel. Let's just start fishing, we should have a good rod. The thing about Munchlack is eventually it gets good in the later generation. Then you have, what is it called, Baby Mr. Mime Jr. It's okay, I guess. I think we did not really need a baby Mime Pokemon. And it was intended that this thing gets a baby form anyway, so it's not too awful. I wish it was like that Humpty Dumpty design. I really like it. You can catch a Magikarp here. One level away from Gyarados. Oh, that's a steal. Gyarados is a good Pokemon, don't take it the wrong way. I think in-game Gyarados is definitely impressive, since now it can learn Waterfall, which is useful in-game. I think we didn't really talk about the in-game performance of any of these Pokemon. Like, the starters are fine. I think Infernape is just the best, and you don't want to use Torterra. And Magikarp is great. Staraptor is one of the best Pokemon. And Platinum fixes a lot of the issues of Diamond and Pearl, because in Diamond you might want to catch Gyarados, but you probably don't want to use a Gyarados. I think it can take some of your HMs away, so you can use a different HM slave than Bibarel. Bibarel gives you so much freedom in this regard, but it makes your team slots kinda stale. We have here. It's fine here, it's fine. We have a quick ball, we just quick ball it. And with this we have also trade Pokemon, Pokemon be required for trading. Unless it breaks out, which it doesn't. We still had a ball for that too. I hope you enjoyed today's recording session. First, let's think of a way what we name this thing, and I think we call it Ball and Football. And it just fits together with the thing. Thanks for watching.